Hey, this is Zulem Urbina, and tune into the relay for the latest news in boxing all around the world. Thank you for supporting myself and other female boxers. We truly appreciate it.
Welcome to the motherfucking relay. We're covering today's top boxing news.
Okay, we'll start with this. Terri Harper, behind the ropes. Terri Harper is no stranger to the big lights. Her seat at the top table has been almost a given. There have been disappointments over the past 6 years or so. They somewhat unfairly cloud her achievements, which are aplenty. Harper always seemingly finds a way to reinvent herself. Once Alicia Baumgartner so brutally ended her super featherweight reign, Harper moved up to super welter. The Denabi fighter won a world title at 154. Harper tried 147, but found Sandy Bryan too much for her. With her career on the line, Harper dropped all the way back down to lightweight and relieved Rhiannon Dixon of her WBO title. Then unbeaten in 2024. A career saved, but winning a world title in a third division probably didn't get the recognition it deserved. Caroline Dubois defeated Harper back in April in their much-anticipated all-British unification showdown, but the 29-year-old lasted the distance, and I thought the judges were a little harsh on her. Harper more than had her moments and did much better than many expected. Harper returns next month, another seat at the top table, and another little reinvention for her career. If she would have got in there and got manhandled by Caroline Dubois, if she would have got beat up and stopped, dropped, and knocked out, that might have been the end for Terri, but she really did do much better than expected, even if the judges' scorecards didn't reflect that. And because she handled herself so well, because she's not an old fighter, there's still more to accomplish for Terri Harper. On August 29th in Birmingham, Harper will begin her quest for a world title in the fourth division. Miranda Reyes will be in the opposite corner next month. Harper will see it as a chance to make a little statement that she still has plenty to give. The opportunity to chase that fourth belt is clearly something that excites her. It's big, and again, Harper said at this week's press conference, "It's just creating that little bit more history for myself. I feel like I'm at a point in my career now where I've experienced everything. To go out and challenge to be a world champion in 4 divisions, not many people can say they've done that. Despite Harper being a significant betting favorite, she is still expecting a tough challenge from the American opponent." As she should. "I feel like she's gonna make me earn my money on the night," Harper said this week. "It's just about sticking to what I know I can do. I'm a skilled fighter. I've got great experience over the years. It's just about going out there and enjoying the night." Coming right off that loss to Caroline, she services as a common opponent for both Terri and Miranda Reyes, as Caroline beat them both. Harper has been at the top of her sport since 2020. I was ringside in Sheffield when her vocal, passionate, faithful roared her on to a famous win over Eva Wahlstrom, a victory that earned her the WBC super featherweight title. "I feel like I haven't got much left to prove," Harper said at the London press conference on Tuesday. "I've gone out and I've done well for myself over the years. I'm always pushing myself as an athlete and as a person, and I will always enjoy the challenge," Harper added. "For now, I just want to be able to enjoy the sport that I fell in love with. There's no pressure for me now, and I can go out there and just enjoy boxing for what it is." Harper, maybe surprisingly to some, is still only 29 years old and could have another few years left in her career. A victory over Reyes would almost certainly set up a world title opportunity for her at super lightweight. The timing could be perfect for her, as Katie Taylor is about to have her farewell fight on September 5th at Croke Park against Flora Pilley. Taylor could sign out as the undisputed world 140-pound champion. If so, the impending retirement would see the world super lightweight baubles all become vacant. Terri Harper would surely be in the running to fight for one of them. A highly successful career could have another chapter or two left to write. Absolutely. At 29 years old and on the cusp of becoming a 4-weight world champion, the rest of Terri Harper's career is on the other side of Miranda Reyes. The question is, can she get past her, and can she get there? Miranda Reyes is no slouch. Very dangerous within close quarters if you decide to engage her there. So what Terri Harper has to do, being the taller, longer fighter, is get up on her toes, use that jab, and move around. Fight her off when you need to, but don't sit in the pocket too long. Miranda needs you to do that. Don't play into her hands. A win over Miranda, and perhaps down the line, becoming a champion at a 4th weight, will be enough to get Terri Harper back on the Ring IQ pound-for-pound list. She's had an excellent boxing career for for a fighter with no amateur background.
Just a few white-collar fights. She's not an Olympian like, say, Caroline Dubois. If she does become a world champion at a fourth weight, there's going to be a logistical dilemma. Terri is a more accomplished fighter than Caroline Dubois, but Caroline beat her, so in a situation like that, who do you rank ahead of who?
See, a similar dilemma when it comes to Michaela Mayer and Alicia Baumgartner. By now, Michaela's been a champion at many more weights than Alicia, but Alicia did beat her. So who do you rank ahead of who?
It's a good question.
To get the answer, at least when it comes to Terri, she's got to make it past Miranda. I think she's going to. I think she's going to win a points decision. There could be some scary moments in the fight, and it's going to be rough, but I like Terri to win.
In men's welterweight news, more is coming out about the now defunct Keyshawn Davis versus Devin Haney fight via veteran boxing scribe Mike Coppinger, who said, "I'm told Keyshawn was offered $3 million. He rejected it and was pushed to a purse bid. The purse bid result would have paid him $2.13 million.
Wanted a lot more than that.
Where his career high purse was $1 million. He was looking for $5 net to him after managerial fees to fight Devin."
Keyshawn's nickname is the businessman. He doesn't seem to know anything about the business, though.
Not really. You just negotiated for less money, you fucking moron.
If he would have just taken the 3, that would have at least brought him closer to the 5 that he originally wanted. The way he did things, he ended up negotiating for less. And who the hell was he expecting to kick out the 5 when it's your promoter that offered you the 3? Where you think you're worth $5 million, the people who promote you say no.
No, we'll do 3 though.
Which he rejected. So who was it that Keyshawn Davis was expecting to pay in excess of what his own promoter was willing to pay him? He must have been waiting for Turki El Sheikh to swoop in with a big Saudi bag and save the day, but that didn't happen.
To which some bleeding hearts are playing him the violin. D. Styles, a friend of the channel, said, "Everyone wants to talk about market value until I start asking why dude wants above market value money."
A valid question, to which an airhead who goes by the name Marley Halston responded, "Listen, everyone should be asking for above market value. They should value themselves highly. It's a dangerous sport."
Then don't box.
A perspective like this one gives it away that this person either doesn't know much about the industry or doesn't care to know much, because if every single fighter values themselves above market value, where is the money supposed to come from?
Who's supposed to pay them?
We'll get the money from the money tree.
Ah, yes, the money tree.
Let us go and shake the money tree for the money.
Said no one ever, because money doesn't grow on trees, and if what you want is for fighters to ask for money that is in excess of what they're worth, that difference, it's got to come from somewhere. You know where they want it to come from. It's very clear that wasn't going to come from Top Rank, since they don't value Keyshawn Davis at $5 million in this situation.
So if it's not coming from the platform and it's not coming from the promoter, where is it supposed to come from? From the patron, from the boxing fan. If you've been noticing this influx of pay-per-views for fights that are not pay-per-view worthy, platform and the promoters, they put up a portion of the money that the fighter wants, and the difference, they're expecting that to come from me and you. But what happens if it doesn't come from me and you?
With what can only be described as pay-per-view fatigue throughout the calendar year and piracy being at an all-time high, if the consumers don't consume the product you put out, what happens to the product?
And the people selling it.
What happens? You want to know what happens? They go out of business. That's what happens. It's very easy to steal a fight these days. You really don't have to pay for them.
The problem is, if enough people are doing that, and that happens on a long enough timeline, the people you're stealing from, they get up, they leave, they go out of business.
That's what happens. You're always hearing about how a Walmart or a Target or some shopping center decides to leave town because there's been too much shoplifting, too much theft, too much shrinkage. They can't make any money.
Can't win for losing.
So they cut their losses and go someplace else. That's what happens. But let this Marley broad tell the story, and she thinks the fighters are right. To ask for money they're not good for until the investors, in this instance the networks, can't get a return on their investment and subsequently bail on the sport, like NBC, Fox, HBO, Showtime, and ESPN. Then all that money that was being poured into the industry evaporates.
Every single one of those networks that have since bailed on boxing represents a budget that they're not giving to a promoter.
So you don't need to wonder why so many people in the industry are now suckling on Turkey LL Sheik's proverbial teat. He's making up the difference now. For all the money those networks have withdrawn from boxing, he's pouring money into it.
Oddly enough, some people want to blame him for what's going on.
They think he's the driving force for inflation in the sport. Guy who goes by the name Otto said, Turkey LL Sheik ruined boxing. Now you've got dudes thinking they're worth superstar money without doing superstar business. They don't sell tickets, they don't sell out arenas in major markets, they don't move pay-per-views, and haven't beaten anybody.
You think that started with Turkey LL Sheik?
It's ridiculous. That's why I respect Tank. He came up from the mud with nothing but a Floyd cosign and built himself into a star.
A star? The guy's only really good for a little over or a little under 200,000 pay-per-view buys. Those ain't star numbers.
He earned every dollar that he asks for. Old school mentality. You eat what you kill.
This guy don't know the ball from the bounce because Gervonta Davis is just as much a part of the problem as Keyshawn Davis is a part of the problem.
It's not Turkey LL Sheik who got us to this point. I mean, by the time he comes into it, NBC, HBO, Fox, and Showtime had already decided to leave boxing. Turkey doesn't make his entry into it until the very end of 2023.
If you wanted to describe what Turkey LL Sheik's role in the sport is now, he's making up the difference. All the money those networks took away from the industry, he is now providing it.
Just get your facts straight, Otto. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
The real question is, why did all those networks leave? Why did they withdraw and take their budgets with them? And it's because there's no return on investment.
It costs so much money to get these fighters to do anything that breaking even is near impossible, let alone turning over a profit.
Okay, then why are the fighters being allowed to drive the cost of everything up?
I already told you. It all starts in 2014 with the inception of Al Heyman's PBC and the $500 million he fucked off overpaying guys like Danny Garcia to fight in layup fights.
That's where it all started.
Because if you pay a guy $1 million or more to fight a cream puff, what do you think he's gonna want to fight a live body? Suddenly, the cost of staging a decent boxing match with two decent boxers shoots up astronomically.
That's what happened.
And that's what's been going on to the point the networks don't see the value in staging boxing matches. There's no return on investment. You're gonna put up all that money for what?
Most of the time, there's no profit margin. You can barely break even.
So understand, it's not Turkey LL Sheik's fault that things are the way that they are now. They've been this way for a while.
It's the fighters.
And their managers. Somebody's gotta be the one to say no. Somebody's gotta be the one to crack the proverbial whip. You're saying that if you don't get $5 million up front, you don't net that, you won't box?
Then don't box.
Go sit on the shelf and see what that gets you. You could have made 3.
Now you ain't getting nothing.
Congratulations, you set out for 5, but managed to get 3. You didn't want 3, you pushed for the purse bid and ended up getting 2, and now
you ain't getting nothing.
How many times have you heard me say that fighters in this era have too much autonomy, too much agency to waste people's time, to waste people's money, and this is the end result. So when an airhead like a Marley Halston says that the fighters are right to ask for above market value,
I take it you're not an economist.
saying that fighters should get above market value means that the people putting on the show shouldn't make money, they should lose it.
Is that why you think people put on boxing matches? To lose money?
Is that why anybody goes into business? To lose money. What the fuck, are you, a moron?
No, she's a liberal.
Well, then it all makes sense. What some like to call suicidal empathy. If everybody in the industry prescribed to your way of thinking, it would lead to the entire industry's collapse. The whole thing, and everybody in it.
To where nobody gets to make nothing.
Including the fighter you're caping for. And we can't leave logistics up to emotional people, especially ones with a god complex who think they're saving something or saving someone.
You just want to sound like you care.
When you don't care to know enough about what you're talking about to be talking about it.
What you said, you should just shut the fuck up.
In men's middleweight news, still reigning WBC middleweight champion Carlos Adames took to his social media and stated, 3 months ago, my manager reached out to the champions at 168. You can already guess what happened. Now, there's one warrior who's actually called me out If you really want it, I'm ready. Tell your promoter to make the fight. Let's unify Denzel Gently,
It's Denzel
Bentley, and Carlos tagged Denzel and Queensberry Promotions. Now, what are the odds that Queensberry, having a newly minted middleweight champion in Denzel, are going to go out of their way to get him beat? Because if you make that fight with Carlos, that's what's gonna happen. I like Denzel.
I used to go to school with him. No, you didn't.
Saw him fight on TV a couple of times. The point is, I don't think that so soon after having been elevated to full WBO champion Denzel or Queensberry are gonna roll the dice on Carlos. It's a high-risk, low-reward fight that would require Queensberry to pay for everything, because we know the PBC ain't gonna pay to make it happen.
Queensberry already dodged the bullet when they put Hamza Shiraz in there with Carlos.
Based on this, I take it that negotiations did not go well for an IBF title fight at super middleweight between Carlos and that division's IBF champion, Oslis Iglesias, because Carlos was said to be negotiating a fight with him.
Must not have worked out if he's now talking about staying at middleweight and unifying there.
PBC has two middleweight champions in Carlos Adames, who's got the WBC, and Erislandy Lara, who's got the WBA, though of course, there's no money in putting those two champions in the ring with each other because neither of them has any fans.
And I don't see them calling each other out either. Likely for that reason. They know there's no money in them fighting each other. There's more money in them fighting other people.
You could argue that right now, Carlos Adames is probably the number one middleweight in the world. The best guy in the division, but it's a unique circumstance that the best guy in the division ain't worth no money. I don't know if Carlos Adames is still with the PBC because his last 2 or 3 fights have been off platform. When he fought Hamza Shiraz, that was part of a Turkey LL Sheik show. Then afterwards, when he fought Ammo Williams, that was a Matchroom show. Recently, he was relying on Eye of the Tiger Promotions to pay for a fight between him and Iglesias. That didn't happen. Now he's relying on Queensberry to pay for a fight with Denzel Bentley that likely isn't going to happen. So what should Carlos Adames do in this situation? I believe it's time to change his decorum. I don't know if he's still with the PBC, but even if he is, it's time to go. They're not putting any money behind you. You could likely make more money taking that green and gold title over to Zmufa! They have a middleweight division. They have middleweights for you to fight, and you could likely make more money over there than what you're doing now, waiting for Eye of the Tiger to sort you out or Queensberry Promotions to sort you out. Change your decorum. Go to Zuffa. So maybe you're skeptical about going to Zuffa because of all the things you've been hearing. Okay, no worries. See if you can't ink a deal with Matchroom or Golden Boy. See if you can't ink a deal with Top Rank. Go back to Top Rank because you're a world champion now. You've got a belt. You can negotiate a good deal.
See if you can make that happen, because what's not going to happen is Queensberry paying you to beat their newly minted WBO champion. There's not enough in it for them to take that risk.
They ain't gonna do it.